Hello and welcome to another story time and assembly time. I wonder if you've ever been doing something and you've spent ages getting it ready and you've been really careful, making sure it's really just as you want it. Maybe you've been writing a story or doing a drawing or trying to bake something. Or maybe your teachers have been doing something really important for school or at home and you just get to the end and then, oops, that wasn't meant to happen. Something goes terribly wrong. Anybody got any glue? Sometimes we do things when we get distracted or when we're in a rush, or just sometimes mistakes happen. Things go wrong. And it can be really frustrating. It can make us feel very sad or a little bit angry or just ugh. Our story today is about a time when that happened to God. Things had been beautiful and perfect and suddenly it all went wrong. So let's hear what he did next.
God was sad, very sad. Everywhere he looked, he saw people making bad choices, hating each other, hurting each other, making a mess of his beautiful world.
I need to start all over again.
God decided.
I need to make my world clean.
And that's when he talked to Noah. Noah was not like the rest. He was a good man, and God knew it. So God told him to build a boat big enough to hold Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, their wives, a pair of every animal in the world, and food enough to feed all of them for a very long time. Noah's family was surprised when they told him what he was going to do. Noah's neighbours thought it strange of him to build a boat so far from the sea. And it wasn't easy chasing and catching and cleaning up after all those animals. But Noah was a good man. He did what God told him, even when it was hard. At last, when they were all tucked safely away in the boat, God shut the door. And then it started to rain. It rained for 40 days. It rained for 40 nights. It rained harder than Noah had ever seen it rain before. It rained so hard that the streams and the rivers and even the seas burst their banks and shores and began to flood. Soon, every sandy beach, every rocky path, every patch of muddy earth had disappeared under the water, and the boat began to float. It floated above the houses, it floated above the trees, it floated above the hills, and then above the mountains too. It floated for days and weeks and months, and then it stopped, stuck at the top of a tall mountain. Noah opened a window to look out. The water was going down, but the world was far from dry. So he sent out a dove, and when the dove did not come back, Noah knew that it had found a dry place to build its nest.
Come out.
God called finally.
Come out of the boat. The world is dry, the world is clean. And now you and your family and all the animals must have children and fill it full of life again.
Hooray!
Noah celebrated, and he thanked God for saving him. God was happy too, so he painted the world's first rainbow in the sky to celebrate this fresh, clean world and to promise that he would never send a flood like that again.
Wow, I do love that story. And I wonder what part of the story you liked the best. Was it the bit where Noah had to build that massive ark. I wonder how you'd feel if you saw your friends building a big boat when we weren't really too close to the sea. Maybe in the River Medway. Maybe you like the bit about all the animals getting rescued and being saved. What's our tiger doing there? I wonder what your favourite animal might be. Maybe it was about Mr. Noah peering out of the ark, waiting to see if the rain and all the water had gone. Or maybe, and this is my favourite part, it was the picture of the rainbow, that amazing promise that God gave that he would never destroy the world in that way again. I wonder if you've ever seen a rainbow and how that makes you feel. Usually it's after it's been raining, and between that time when the sun comes out, I always think that's so magical and beautiful, and it always reminds me of that promise God made to Noah. I wonder if there's anything you might need to start doing after thinking about that story. Maybe you want to try and learn to do something new. Maybe learning to tie your shoelaces. Maybe learning to help at home a little bit more. Maybe learning to write. Maybe a new reading book. Or maybe we've done something that's gone a little bit wrong and we might need to say sorry and make a promise to try a little bit harder. We're just going to say a prayer now, and then if you want, maybe in class you can say a big amen with me. Dear God, we thank you so much for that beautiful rainbow. Thank you that it reminds us that we can all make a new start. And God calls each and every one of us because he loves us so much. Please help us with anything new we might have to do this week. Amen. Until next time, bye.